Good morning. Today is going to be a great day. Why? Because you're still here and I'm still here, and we have the opportunity to serve another, to be a helping hand to someone in need. I want to take it this morning and just kind of talk to you about something I've been seeing over the last couple of years. I think we've all seen it. I'm not sure how anybody has not seen these things occur. Specifically, this thing we like to refer to as white privilege. Over the last probably a couple of years, we've seen occurrences where someone has called the police on another, a person of color. I'm looking at, I have a couple here for you, where it says, couple apologized for confronting man over Black Lives Matter's chalk in his front yard. This was a couple days ago. The man was writing in chalk on his own property, Black Lives Matter, yet this couple decided that they would engage him. A video of a New York socialite calling police on an African woman goes viral. This woman called the police on another woman who was just sitting across from her. Apparently she was so frightened, she called the police. Yet the video shows her never moving. She stays across from the person she's afraid of. Me personally, if I feel threatened, I'm going to move. White woman calls police on black bird, man watching the bird. Now that one personally is just really kind of odd. I personally probably would have watched this man watching birds because that's not something you normally see. I don't think I've ever seen anyone bird watching. Yet she was concerned because out of what I get out of it is that the man asked her to put a leash on her dog, and that set her on a path. There's something interesting about all these cases is that this is not the first time we've seen this. You have to wonder, how is it that people are still doing this and having this behavior where they think it's okay to pick up the phone and call the police? People say, oh, it's white privilege. I'm not thinking that's what it is, because I tend to believe there's a black privilege, there's a Hispanic privilege, there's a Latino privilege, and there's an Asian privilege. When I say black privilege, let me give you an example, and I'll be the first to say I've done it. It's when we'll go somewhere and we may be at a restaurant and something's not right. We don't feel like we're getting the service that we deserve, and we'll go, they don't want me to act black up in here. They don't want me to show my backside. We are at that moment taking advantage of what we think someone already believes about how we behave. So if we show our blackness, we show our behind, saying they don't want to see me act black, that's black privilege. And I'm sure you have it in all races. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm not thinking this is about any type of white, black, yellow, green privilege. This is really about just being either really ignorant or having or lacking common sense. No one in their right mind would say, if I see someone across the street cutting their lawn, I'm going to go call the police on them. It doesn't make sense. Right? That's common sense that kicks in and says that doesn't make sense. They're cutting their lawn, they're minding their own business. Here's important. We need to mind our own business until we don't need to mind our own business. We get involved in things we don't need to get involved in things, but we don't get involved in the things we need to get involved in. The Bible has two verses that are really clear. The Bible says, one of the 10 Commandments, thou shalt not bear false witness against my neighbor. And the Bible also says, love thy neighbor like they love thyself. If either of those two scriptures had either come into play or into the mind of either one of these women or men who've called the police on a black person minding his own business, we wouldn't have had that incident. We wouldn't have had those videos because the person would have remembered what they were doing and went about their business. We need to get involved in things we need to get involved in. I give you an example of one we need to get involved in. I recently had an ex-coworker at General Motors post on Facebook a picture, and it was a document that looked like someone in the 5th grade created on a PC that had a Black Lives Matter emblem at the top, and it had in big bold letters, white, men and women and children, and it said under it, the subtitle was, you are the enemy. And it went through it and it listed all these things that black people are trying or plan to do to white people. You could tell it was a created document. Yet this person still shared it. And I reached out to him, I'm like, can you really believe this? He said, well, if it's the truth, it's the truth. What truth? If you went out to some of the sites that some of this stuff come up out of, you'd be surprised at the hate that some people have in them. So if you want to get involved in something, them couples want to get involved in something, what they could have gotten involved in was say, oh, when I see this kind of material, report it to Facebook. That's getting involved. You want to get involved in something, Get involved in those things that really have a potential impact. You see a child getting abused, and this even a family member that may be doing it, call the police. You see a bank robbery in place, call the police. You see something where someone innocent is being mistreated, you get involved in those kind of things. Those are the things we as humans, as decent human beings, children of God, get involved in. It's about serving others, protecting those, less fortunate, those in need, stepping into that space between evilness and that person, right? We can do that. We have that in us. This other nonsense is just strictly people not having or using common sense. We can be better than that. I know we can be better than that. So what I'm going to ask you today is just, when you get involved in those things that really have a bearing on the life of another, not this stuff that just does not make sense. Have a good day. Love you. Talk to you soon. And remember, your scriptures could have saved a lot of this. Love thy neighbor like they love thyself, and thou shalt not bear false witness against another. God bless. Have a good day. Talk to you soon.